everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Crumpets Tea and Sewing. My name is T. Today's video features a makes video. I haven't done a makes video in a very long time. The last video that I did was my August makes video, and if you want to see that, I'll put an iCard above and you can go over and check that video out. I did make a lot of garments between August and now. It's November 7th today, and I just want to share with you everything that I have made since August. Well, not quite everything, but particularly things from the month of September and also October. Unfortunately, we had a death in the family, and so that kind of put a stop to a lot of my the projects that I have been making in October, specifically my Halloween projects. And so I was really sad about that I wasn't able to complete a lot of those projects because I put a lot of time into them. I did turn my attention to more makes that are more simplistic and easy because I still wanted to sew and be in the practice of sewing. I find sewing therapeutic, especially when I'm grieving or when I am frustrated or anything like that. I find it very therapeutic, and so I still wanted to sew something, and so I turned my hand to making a lot of knit patterns and just simple knit patterns as well, something that just has 3 to 4 pieces to them. And so I'll show you all those pieces that I made in the month of October. I'll also show you other projects that I've done as well before this death had occurred. So anyway, let's get started. We'll start off with what I'm wearing. And so this is the Butterick B6388 pattern. It is a pattern that comes with 5 different variations. The variation that I chose to do is variation D, and that's the variation that you see featured here, the one that the model is wearing. I specifically purchased this pattern to make that particular view. I do like all the other views, and as I discussed in a pattern haul video, I talked a little bit more about the different views that's included into this pattern. I think I might do the vest, do like a sweater vest, something you know, as a layer for this fall season or even for the winter. I think that would be really cute and stylish. This pattern is amazing. There are a lot of things that I like about the pattern, and there are also some things that I don't like about the pattern as well. And so let me just start off by telling you the things that I like about the pattern. Number one, is very easy. The instructions, oh my goodness, are just so straightforward and easy. It's easy in the sense that it is made for a beginner, so it is very beginner friendly, and I would highly recommend this pattern for a beginner because it's just so easy and simple. So that's what I really like about the pattern. I like the simplicity of it, and I also love the instructions because the instructions were really great. The style, I really like the style. Also, specifically, I really love this collar detail. So this is a collar that overlaps on itself, and so I really like that. The pattern doesn't call for putting a button or any kind of brooch here. I just did this because I thought that it would add to the style and kind of make the fabric pop out a little bit more, because you can't really see the metallic strands going throughout the sweater shirt unless you're really, you know, close up. And so I feel like putting this brooch on it kind of gives it that extra detail that will make it look a little bit more elegant, I guess. And so I really like that detail. This pattern comes with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 pieces. And so again, it's really easy. I'll stand up against the backdrop so you can see more of the construction of the garment and how it lays on my body and all that stuff. But I just want to talk a little bit about some of the minor details here. The sleeve, you just fold the sleeve over at 5/8 inch seam allowance, and you just sew that around at 5/8 inch seam allowance. And so that was really easy. The length of the skirt is very short, and as you can see, even on the model, it comes about 2 or 3 inches above the knee. I lengthened mine just a tad, but after I sewed it all together, I realized that I didn't lengthen it enough to my desire. I really don't like the fact that it's not as long as I would like it to be, particularly because it's the fall season, and also I intend to wear this in the winter, and I don't always like to wear tights with my dresses, and I don't want to be restricted to where I have to or don't have to wear tights. But with this particular make, I will definitely wear tights, some form of tights or skinny pants or jeans, jeggings or whatever with them, because it's quite short. Let me go ahead and stand against the backdrop so you can see more of the garment. Okay, so as you can see here, it features these pockets here on the side of the dress. You have 2 pockets. You have a pocket on the left and a pocket on the right. It also has this back yoke. I'm going to squat because I don't know if you can see or not, but it has this back yoke going around the neck. I really like that detail as well. And the pattern calls for you to top stitch it down, and so that's what I did, and it really makes the back yoke really pop, and I really like that. And again, as I said, it's quite short. It has like these pieces here on the side, so this front piece, it kind of goes the way in which you cut it, it kind of goes into the thighs here on the side. The side seams go into the thighs, the thigh area, and so I thought that that was quite interesting and a little different. I don't like the pockets, so that's another thing on my list of don'ts or do not like. I really don't like the pockets here on the side, mostly because I have found when I'm walking with it, the pockets, because they're not like tacked down or anything, they kind of move as I'm moving as well. And having the pockets here in the front right against my thigh area is just something that I'm not used to, and it's just not comfortable, and it just feels really weird and odd. So anyway, I do have a lot of things that I want to show you, so I'll go ahead and wrap this particular project up. The things that I would change about this particular pattern: I would not put the pockets in. If I were to make it again, I would definitely omit the pockets. Also, as you can see here on the side, you have 2 sections here of a sleeve. So you have this sleeve here that is kind of like a kimono sleeve, and it's attached to the front and the back bodice. So it's actually a part of the front and the back bodice. But this part, this sleeve, is a separate sleeve that you would cut out 2 pieces here, one for the left arm, one for the right arm, and then you sew it to the kimono or raglan or whatever you want to call it portion of the sleeve. I really don't like this style at all. I think next time, if I were to make this pattern, I would lengthen this portion of the sleeve and just extend it down, and just have one long sleeve that way, instead of having a seam in the middle of my bicep. I really don't like that particular style at all. So again, overall, this pattern is really awesome. There are some things that I really like about the garment, especially the collar. As I mentioned before, I really like the collar detail, and I like the back yoke detail. And I also just like the comfortability of it. It's really, really comfortable. I chose a terry knit stretch fabric, and I just really love it. It's really soft and warm, and I love that about it as well. But as I said, the length of it, I would definitely change that, and I would change the sleeves, and I would omit the pockets. So that's it for this make. Okay, so the next project that I made in September is the New Look 6150. I did do this pattern twice. The first time that I did this pattern, I made it with a royal blue and red fabric that I purchased from Walmart. And I talked a little bit about that in one of my videos. I can't remember which video it was, but I'll link it up above so that you can go over and watch that video. This is the second garment that I made out of that particular pattern. I'll show you the pattern here in a minute. So this is the pattern. It's the New Look 6150. I made view E here in the floral print. So I made two garments using that same variation. I know I should have made a different variation, but the first garment that I made, my daughter loved it so much she wanted me to make her one, and so we picked out this fabric for her, and she went out and got this fabric, and I made it within like I think 2 hours or something like that. And so it's basically identical to the first one that I made, except for obviously the print is different. So she picked this pink floral print, and it's just really gorgeous. The next pattern that I made in October, this one I didn't make in October, is the Easy Stitch and Save M9009, and this is a peplum style shirt. And I did do a video of this as well, and I'll link that above, and you can go over and watch that video. So a lot of videos. If you have not had a chance to watch my videos, you can go ahead and catch up on all of those videos. So I made view A, and that's the view that the model is wearing, and I wasn't really happy with it. As you can tell in the video, I talk a little bit more about things that I didn't like and some problems I came up against while making this particular make. I didn't really like it because I didn't like the way in which it looked on me. And again, I won't spoil it. I'll just let you go ahead and go over and watch that video. But I will insert a picture in this video so that you can actually see what it looks like and what I'm referring to. But yeah, that's something else that I made for the month of October. So I did make two dresses using the Easy Stitch and Save by McCall's M9007. This particular pattern has 6 different variations. It includes different sleeve variations as well as different length variations as well. And then you also have the option of doing a round neck band as well as a V-neck band. So as you can see for this particular dress, I did do a round neck band, and I also did contrasting sleeves. Now, none of the variations called for contrasting sleeves. I decided to put contrasting sleeves on this dress because this particular print is really busy, and for some reason it makes me look wider than I actually am. And then I also put at the bottom of the shirt, as you can see, I put just a really small detail around the bottom of the sleeve. I just did a really small band on the bottom of the sleeve. That is the same print as the rest of the dress. So this is the Easy Stitch and Save by McCall's. It's M9007. I purchased this at Walmart and it was $4.97. I'm not for certain if this pattern is still being produced. or if it's still at like local Joann's or Hobby Lobby, but I have seen them at Walmart. And so you can purchase them at Walmart. I did view B, so that's this variation. That's this variation right here with the really long dress and the long sleeves. I did do the round neck for this particular dress, but for my second dress, I did view B as well, but I did view E's neck variation, and I'll show you that here in a moment. But I just love this particular garment. I think it's really great. It's something that you can throw on and either lounge around the house. You can dress it up, dress it down. I just really love this particular dress. Okay, so this is the second dress that I made with the McCall's Easy Stitch and Save M9007. This one, I just absolutely love this one. I'm just so pleased with how this one turned out. I did do the V-neck band, as I mentioned before. I did that variation, which is view E, for this particular dress, but I did keep the length of the dress, and it goes all the way down to the ankles, which I really adore. I did also do the long sleeve variation because ideally I want to wear this particular dress during the spring, and so I decided to go ahead and make a long sleeve out of it. All in all, I think that this particular make turned out really wonderful. I can't really get you to see the bold and vibrant colors. For some reason, the camera's not really picking it up. It's darker than what the dress really is. Hopefully the pictures that I insert at the end of this video will give a better representation of what the actual finished garment looks like. But this is just a really nice, comfortable dress to wear. I have not had a chance to wear it yet. I just finished making this one. This was like the last make that I made in the month of October. And I had a fun time making these two dresses. Okay, so this next make is something that I made using a sweater that I thrifted from a local thrift shop. Basically, I took a 3XL sweater and I turned it into something that is sized for someone who is a medium, which is me, a medium to a large. And I made it more form-fitting around the waist. The original sweater was quite large, even for someone who is who is a 3XL. It had a band that was at the bottom of the sweater for the front, and then it also had a separate band for on the bottom of the back of the sweater as well. I took both bands and I preserved the bands, and I used the first band to attach to the bottom of the sweater. So that's what you see at the bottom of the sweater. And then the second band I used for the collar. And I explain this in more detail in a video that I posted on this particular refashion. And so I'll put a link above to that video as well, and then you can check that video out and you can learn more about this refashion. I did add buttons to the collar on the front of the collar. I thought that it would bring it out more and make it look more dressy. The sweater has metallic fibers or metallic material going throughout the entire sweater, but you can't really see it on the camera. It's just so sad. I'm gonna get closer and maybe you can see it. This is the best that I can get it, unfortunately, but it is a really cute sweater. I had fun making it. It's been a long time since I've done a refashion. I think this is the first refashion that I've done in about over a year now, and I'm just glad that I was able to do it. It was definitely very therapeutic for me, and I just enjoyed every minute of it. I also made 2 pencil skirts using the Simplicity 1072 pattern. So this is the pattern. I made view B, which is the pencil skirt here. All of these views are very easy and simple. I did do view B and I did view D, and I'll show you the other garments that I made using this pattern as well. I absolutely love this pattern. I also love the fabric that I picked up for this particular project as well. I purchased this particular fabric from a shop on Etsy called Fabric Universe. I do know that they have their own website as well that you can order from, and that's fabricuniverse.com. And by the way, I am not being paid in any kind of way or receiving any kind of monetization for advertising this, but they are really great. I love all of their different fabrics. They have really deep, rich fabrics, and I just really love them. So this particular fabric, it is the Eggplant number 11 fabric. It's a scuba knit, and it's just a really great fabric. I really love it. I made this pencil skirt, and then I also made some tights or some jeggings as well, and so I'll show you those as well. It's really simple and easy, and like I said, it took me about I would say about 40 minutes to an hour to make. So it's really simple, really easy. I love the pattern. So let me show you the second skirt that I made using this same pattern. Okay, so this is the second skirt that I made using the Simplicity 1072 pattern. It is a little bit more formal than the first skirt that I made. Unfortunately, my camera is not doing this skirt any justice. It looks so much better in person. It's just really gorgeous. Maybe if I can get closer, it will show it a little better. I don't know. It's not really showing the true color of the skirt. I'll insert some pictures at the end of me wearing this particular make, and maybe you will be able to get a better idea of what it looks like. I really like this fabric that I chose for this particular make. However, I do think it is a little bit too fancy for this particular pattern. I think next time I'm going to just go ahead and stick with something that is either a solid color that's a scuba knit or a ponte or something like that, or if I do choose to wear print, I'm going to go with something that is a little bit more casual instead of more you know, dressy. For the plum colored skirt, I did a size 16, and a size 16, it states on the tissue paper, on the pattern's tissue paper, that for that size, you're looking at a 40-inch in the hips for your finished measurement. Well, I found that to be too loose for me, and so for this particular skirt, for the second skirt that I made, this one that you're seeing here, because this is the second one that I made, I went down a size, and so this one is a size 14, and I have found that this one fits me the way in which I want it to fit. So that's just something that you might want to keep in mind if you are considering using this pattern. I think because it is a knit pattern, I think you have more room to work with, and you can go down a size if you so choose. Okay, so using the same pattern, I did view D of the Simplicity 1072. So it is the shirt, and that's included into this particular pattern. So that's the view here. So it's quite different. It has this this front contrast panel here that you would include on the garment, and I chose to use a gold contrast panel for the front. And then you have on the side of the garment, you have another piece on the side, which is the side front, and then you have the side back panel or bodice, and then you have the sleeves. And so this is a raglan sleeve style, and so I thought that that was something that was interesting and kind of fun to work with. The only thing that I did differently for this particular make is I omitted the band at the bottom and then also on the sleeves. So the reason why I did that is because I felt like with the skirt, the band would not look so good with the skirt, and so I omitted that and just did a regular hem at the bottom of the shirt. And I also did the same thing with the sleeves. I will probably wear the shirt with a pair of black leggings or jeggings, and then wear the skirt with a solid black sweater knit shirt. So anyway, I think both projects came out pretty good and decent. They are wearable, and I am hoping to get some wear out of them, but it didn't really come together as I was envisioning it. So I am a little bit sad about that, but that's okay. So if you've been following me on YouTube, then you know by now I've been talking quite a bit about making an anniversary collection, and last month was the first step into making that collection. So this is the first dress of the collection. It is this really beautiful royal blue dress that I made from the Mimi G Style Simplicity pattern 8291. I'll show you that pattern here in a minute. I just want to talk a little bit more about the dress and some things that I did. So for this particular pattern, I chose variation A. So the pattern comes with 3 different variations, and as I stated before, I'll show you those variations here in a minute and the pattern as well. So variation A is basically a simple dress with long sleeves, and it features a very long dress. So the dress goes all the way down to the floor, and I'll put pictures at the end of the video so that you can actually see the entire length and the entire garment. But this particular garment features forward sleeves, and the sleeves in the front are gathered as you see here. It has a very low cut V-neck neckline, and that's one of the things that I just don't like about the pattern. In the future, if I were to make this particular garment again, I would definitely change that neckline a bit. Also, this particular garment, because my anniversary is in March and it tends to be a little bit chilly in March, I wanted to have long sleeves. Now, this particular pattern doesn't come with a long sleeve variation. It has a 3/4 sleeve, and then it has an option for no sleeves, but it doesn't have any other sleeve variations. And so I decided to just go ahead and lengthen the sleeve. So that's what I did, but I made it too long. So I do need to take off about 2.5 inches and then hem that up. And so I do have to do that, get around to doing that. But everything else is completed. I did the hem on the skirt and the hem around the neckband. Everything is just great. I did do a video of my progress, documenting my progress and everything throughout this entire, making this garment. I haven't decided if I want to post that yet or not. It is a lot of footage and it's really long, and trying to omit certain clips and things like that, and trying to make the video shorter has become quite difficult to do. So I haven't decided if I want to post that video. Lastly, I made some tights using the McCall's M6173. This is supposed to be an easy pattern. So this is the pattern here. And I did variation B. So it features 3 different variations. So it's A, B, and C. And I did variation B. So it's just a simple pattern that has 2 pieces. So it has the back and the front. This particular pattern comes in sizes extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and so on. So the way in which the pattern comes, so you can select the first size, which is sized from extra small to a medium, and then the second size, the size up, goes from a large and it goes up to an extra large. So I got the second size, the size up, that's from a large to an extra large, and then I use the large pattern. And the reason why I chose this is because the finished measurements for a large says that it's for a size 40-inch hips. This is not true. This pattern is so oversized. I can't even begin to tell you. I had to take off so much. So I had to actually drop the size down to about a small. And because the size that I purchased is an extra large to, or a large to an extra large, I had to actually end up self-drafting my own tights. So I use this as a guideline or for a base, but really I ended up drafting my own tights. They were just so big. And then also after doing all of the modifications, so I had to alter the thighs and take that in about, I would say about 5 inches, probably even more than that. It was just extremely big. So I had to do 5 inches on both the right leg and the left leg. A lot of fabric just wasted. So I was just really unimpressed by that. And then also for my calves, they were quite baggy as well, so I had to take those in quite a bit as well. So this pattern, I would say, is really not true to size. I think if I were to make this again, I'm definitely going to purchase the size small and try the size small, and I'm definitely going to do a mock-up. So I'm going to purchase some fabric that I don't really care about, and I'm going to do a mock-up so that I can actually see, you know, what size or what range I would fall into according to McCall's or this designer's drafting, where I fit on their scale, because it's not a large, and it's supposed to be, because I am you know, my hips are measured at a 40-inch, and that's what their finished measurement for a large is. But I just had to take this in so much. But anyway, I use this fabric that I purchased from Fabric Universe. So it's the same fabric that I use for the pencil skirt that I made from the Simplicity pattern. And I just really do love this this fabric. It's soft, it's so vibrant, and it's really beautiful. The finished tights that I made here, they're really nice and they're comfortable for loungewear. They're not as form-fitting as I want them to be in the crotch area, so I would definitely have to make some adjustments there as well in the future if I do this pattern. I don't know, if I do a size small, I might not have to do those adjustments to the crotch. It could just be because I chose the large size, but they are really comfortable, they're nice, and they feel really good against my skin, so I really like them. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and for watching the channel, and I'm so thankful for your support. And until next time, stay creative.